Hello, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the information session about the Go-to-Market Accelerator program. A little bit about us. We are the Research and Innovation Unit, and we manage basically national funds. Our three main portfolios are the Fusion, Thematic, and Research Networking Scheme, and we manage 12 different R&D funding schemes up until today. Some of our funding programs can vary from 4,000 euro to 500,000 euro. So the Fusion portfolio, which I will talk about today since the go-to-market falls under this portfolio, is a national funding program that drives and supports local R&D. It provides aid for all projects at all technology readiness levels, and range from non-thematic to other more specific and niche areas. This year we have a budget of 9 million to allocate for projects in the R&I unit. And as I said earlier, we have projects related to networking, basic research, applied research, as well as commercialization. I will go a bit quickly since this is not the main focus of the info session, but starting from the top left, we have the Research Excellence Program having bottom-up research. You move on to Technology Development Program having more of an applied research. The go-to-market, which I will talk more about today at a later stage of the TRL level that you are currently working on. Then up again, we have the thematic programs, focusing more on niche areas. The voucher program, which will be soon starting with the intellectual property registration, hopefully by next week. Technology Development Program Light, which focuses on expedited research. Going on the top right, we have the Research Networking Scheme, focusing on networking between Maltese and foreign entities, as well as publications. And on the bottom right, we have the Technology Extension Support Program, where there is incremental or process improvement between a private entity and a higher educational institute. Moving on, a very common question which is asked, and is honestly quite difficult to explain, but I have found this document, which I believe satisfies the answer. What is research? So research essentially boils down to 5 main criteria. It has to be novel, has to be creative, has to be uncertain, systematic, and transferable and/or reproducible. I have found this from the OECD Frascati manual, which you can find by doing a Google search. It is a 402-pager where it explains basically research, basic concepts, data collection guidelines, and any R&D statistical that you can find. So the Go-to-Market Accelerator program. What is the go-to-market, you might ask me? Basically, it supports the final stages of your technology readiness levels. It funds the optimization, verification, and validation of your prototype or project. And you focus on validating the application of the technology. So a basic overview of the eligibility and the criteria of the go-to-market. So starting from the thematic areas, you have the smart specialization areas. You can find this on the website, scientific areas of research, if you want to learn more about our smart specialization areas. The go-to-market focuses on TRLs 5 or 6, going to 7 or 8, even 9 if one manages to reach that TRL. The duration is 24 months with no extension. The eligibility is either a consortia, be it public or private, or you can apply as a sole entity. The grant is up to 150,000 euros, as well as 14,000 euro extra grant for a feasibility assessment, which is the CFP, which I will cover very shortly. Um, and the start date hopefully will be 1st August. So, a bit about the CVP, the Commercialization Voucher Program, which essentially will be part of the go-to-market now as Work Package Zero. So, applicants must first undergo a feasibility study conducted within the project. So, this contains the intellectual property check and the commercial viability test, which basically is an assessment on market research and economic impact. This is important to know that it is de minimis state aid or non-state aid only. We do not offer GBER for such a small amount. The feasibility study has a value of 14,000 euros, I said, excluding VAT, and the feasibility study will have a duration of 12 to 16 weeks, where the applicant will work in tandem with Scienza Malta's pre-approved service providers. Now, the 12 and 16 weeks are basically, if you want to do them simultaneously, it will take you 12 weeks, the intellectual property check and the commercial viability test. Or if you wish to do them separately, it will take you around 16 weeks. And once you complete the commercialization voucher program, you may move on, if successful, to the go-to-market accelerator program. This is, of course, within one application. You do not need to apply two separate applications. So who is eligible? So you have option A, which is the private entities mostly. You have the commercial entities, any partnerships, professional bodies, NGOs, non-profit making entities. And option B, you have your public legal entities and public research and knowledge dissemination organizations. So the go-to-market will be offered at a GBER for a GBER route and at de minimis for this commercialization voucher program. And that can be a bit confusing. So basically, you will apply for the go-to-market, where you will be benefiting from the commercialization program, voucher program, which will be offered at a de minimis state aid route, the 14,000 euros. And then you will apply for you will go to the go-to-market with the GBER state aid. Or unless you are option B, which is fully 100% funded if you are a non-state aid. The GBER works by providing a 25% intensity to undertakings. If you are a medium-sized undertaking, you will be eligible for another 10%. And if you are a small undertaking, you will be eligible for another 20%. Then moving on, you have effective collaboration and or wide dissemination. So this means if your project being proposed has effective collaboration between undertakings, entities, or any wide dissemination, you are eligible for another 15%, which you can have up to a maximum of 60% of the 150,000 euro if you fulfill all the maximum criteria. So eligible costs for the go-to-market include personnel costs. Management costs are capped at 15% of the project value. Specialized equipment under GBER, only depreciation costs related to the life of the project are eligible. You have your consumables capped at 30% of the project value. Subcontracting activities capped at 40% of the project value. Your overheads, aka indirect costs, 20% of all the direct eligible costs which are proposed in the budget. Travel, which is not eligible for GBER, but for non-state aid is 15% of the project value. And then you have your patent renewal / maintenance fees, which is limited to 3,000 euro, excluding the indirect costs, which is unfortunately also not eligible for GBER. So some mandatory deliverables which will be expected in the go-to-market program. You will have, of course, the CVP as Work Package Zero, which you need to complete before starting the go-to-market. You need to have a business plan or business case specific to the project, provided one has not already been done and sent to us prior to starting. You have your meetings, which the beneficiary will be expected to hold a meeting every 6 months, and also the month one where he would need to kickstart the project, basically. Um, you will have your reporting reports, which are the usual, but since the go-to-market will be on a 24-month period, we will need interim technical and financial reports halfway through the project, so month 12, basically. And then you have the final technical report and financial audit report, which the final technical report will need to be submitted at the end of the project. And the financial, we will give 2 months from the end of the project to be submitted. Some recommended deliverables which can help your application be more successful in the evaluation process. Sorry, you can have registration of intellectual properties, formation of private spin-off entities, commercial commitments or representations at international conferences, any validation reports and certifications, dissemination also to boost the project's commerciality. These are all deliverables which you can write in your application, which can enhance the strength of your application. We would cap this to 10 voluntary deliverables, apart from the mandatory deliverables mentioned here, which need to be in place. So moving on, this is an overview of approximately how the calls that we offer go. So we have the publication of the call. Today we have the information session. Then you have your single stage submission, the administrative evaluation, the evaluation by our external evaluators, where they will give you a pass or a fail according to your application, the questions which were included in the application. They will evaluate that. And of course, if whatever the result, we will notify the applicant if they were awarded, if they had administrative failure, if they didn't pass, if they have a QPA, we call it, if you got more than 80% and we didn't have enough funding. And then, of course, we have the due diligence evaluation, which relates to more of auditing work from our side to check if the project would be feasible financially. And then we have the signature of the grant agreements and the start of the project. So since the go-to-market will now be on a 24-month period, the tranches will be split into 50% initial advancement payment, which is the pre-financing part, 30% after submitting the interim technical and financial reports, which is the second part of the payment, and then the retention 20% fund, which is the normal retention fund we give after the project is completed and all deliverables have been satisfied. Some of the evaluation criteria is listed down here below. You would need a 65% pass to be eligible for the grant, and some maybe criteria that there is mentioned here. You have excellence, which is 40%. You need some clear aims, ambitious but reasonable within the context of the project. Appropriate TRL levels. I will not read through all of them. They are mentioned in the application and also in the rules if you want to take a look at them. You have your impact, which is 30%, and your implementation, which is also 30% of the final mark. So what would you need to submit for the go-to-market? So for option A, which is more related to the private entities, you would need, of course, the application form filled in completely with all the signatures necessary. CVs of any key researchers working on the project, an IP agreement, or a CV report if it was already completed up until 1st January 2022. Additional declarations which we have listed on the website. In the event of a startup, we would also need the financial projection for 3 years. Management accounts, forms related to GPER, size and undertaking in difficulty, and also a de minimis form. The breakdown of costs, which we have an Excel sheet, also on the website, and the dissemination plan. For option B, which is really more related to university and MCAS, we have the application form, the CVs, the IP agreement, or CVP report if you have done the CVP as of 1st January 2022. Additional declarations, RKDO or non-RKDO forms, breakdown of cost and dissemination plan. So something also new with the go-to-markets is that we are letting the applicant allocate the percentage allocation to the deliverable. So what does this mean? Essentially, it means that if your project value is 150,000 euro and you allocate 5% for a deliverable, if you did not manage to complete that deliverable by the end of the project, 5% would be reduced from the project value, from the grant value, sorry. We will let the applicant decide on the weighting. Of course, the interim financial report and the audited financial report are not included because they are 100% of the grant. If you do not give us the financial report, we cannot, of course, disperse any tranches. So the application deadline would be 14th March this year, around midnight. Any forms can be sent to the email gtm.ciensamalta@gov.mt, keeping in copy myself and Mark Farrugia, having an email subject written there, Go to Market Accelerator 2025 application submission. So relating to the go-to-market itself, I think that would be all. If you have any questions, I can answer it shortly. Something new that we are adding to the go-to-market is the EIC Accelerator plugin scheme, the European Innovation Council Accelerator plugin scheme. As you can see, this was before we moved to Scienza Malta. We have been approved by the European Innovation Council to have a plugin scheme relating to the go-to-market. So I would if I were to give you a brief overview of the EIC, it would be that it is worth 1.16 billion for startups and SMEs to develop high scale-up, high-impact innovations. There is also a unique blended finance combining equity or quasi-equity, such as convertible loans between 0.5 million and 15 million through the EIC fund. The next slide has more information about it. So beneficiaries of the go-to-market accelerator are eligible to access the plugin scheme upon project completion. If you need more information, you can find them in the rules in Annex 2 at the bottom of the rules. Under the plugin scheme, Scienza Malta can carry out a project review to determine whether the project is suitable for the EIC Accelerator open call or challenges call. The open call basically is you come up with the idea, and the challenges call is that the EIC will have sort of a top-down process where they will give sort of a question, and any project has to be related to that question. Upon applying through the plugin scheme, you are eligible to skip the first stage of evaluation. There are 3 stages. The first stage is the short proposal, I believe. The second stage is the long proposal, and the third stage is the presentation that you will give to the EIC Council. I myself do not take care of this EIC Accelerator. This is more related to the Horizon Europe part, So if you need more information, you can contact John Patch at john.patch@gov.mt. So this is sort of relating to maybe a way forward that you might want to do after the info session. Apart from, of course, if the go-to-market may not fit your objectives. Ideally, you would identify a program which fits your objectives. You would contact us for further information, and we will be able to provide any previous call documents. You would familiarize yourself with the call documents and then wait for another call to launch if the go-to-market is not for you. Also, another sort of program which we are working on, and we are currently consulting different stakeholders on the go-to-market loan assistance program. This is basically a program which is the next step after the Accelerator. It aims at supporting projects which successfully completed the TTP/go-to-market Accelerator and are now looking to unlock funding under the MDB, the Malta Development Bank's Small and Medium Entities Guarantee Scheme. The SGS, aka the SME Guarantee Scheme, will cover establishment of new enterprises, expansion capital, capital for strengthening or stabilization of the general activities of an enterprise, realization of new projects, penetration of new markets, and new developments by existing enterprises, and investment relating working capital business ownership transfers. The program is a blended financial instrument, which is composed of an interest rate subsidy, an upfront contribution, and a grant for any collateral that the bank might have. If you require also more information, my colleague Maria can give you all the information you would need. Basically, that is it. If you have any questions, I will leave around 10 to 15 minutes now. So please go ahead and ask. Yes.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you very much for the presentation. Two quick ones, and I'm sorry if you have said that I missed it. I was running behind children here. Number one, we are in the process of incorporating in Malta. We're not 100% sure because of local registrar's office and so on. If this will be completed by the deadline, is this an impediment? Can we still submit our candidacy if we're not incorporating in Malta?
So you would need to register your company here in Malta before you would submit your application.
Again, we are in the process, but I'm not 100% sure if that will be completed. Can we submit the proof of our submission that we have, given the paperwork to the authorities? Is this enough, or do you need a confirmation of the registration?
I believe we would need confirmation of the registration.
Thank you. The second question, in the case of a biotech, generally speaking, in which involves clinical trials of animal models, in a preclinical phase, is this something that would be covered during the program, or is just more non-lab related work?
Well, of course, the program covers the research aspect, so clinical trials would be part of the research aspect. But of course, Malta, I believe, does not cater for clinical trials, so you would be doing them abroad. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was not clear. When I said clinical, I didn't mean humans. I mean preclinical work. I'm sorry, I did not use the proper words. Like animal models, for example, not humans.
If it's related to the research element of your project, then yes, you can include it in your budget, basically.
Thank you.
Welcome. So, any more questions?
Yes, please.
Hi, Kyle. It's Paul from the university.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for the presentation and for the information. We have a question regarding consortium. I don't know whether you were referring to the CVP at that stage. You mentioned that sole entities can apply. Were you referring to CVP or to go-to-market at the time?
So the go-to-market would be essentially part of the consortium or the sole entity that I was referring to. So you can apply as a sole entity or you can apply as a consortium.
Even for the go-to-market?
Yes, yes, yes.
I believe the rules state otherwise.
What do you mean by this?
I believe there is a statement in the rules on composition where it says that you should have a minimum of 2.
That would be the technology development program. If you've seen this in the go-to-market, you can send me where it will be or where it is, sorry. So I can.
I'm referring to clause 5.1. I don't know whether you have the rules in front of you because this creates a little bit of confusion.
I can check definitely. If you give me 1 second. So. No, but this is not a requirement for sure that you would need to be in a consortium.
So is it a case that the rules need to be modified?
So you said 5.1. 5.1. Composition. The composition 5.1 would read, a project application may be submitted by a consortium which consists of 2 or more partners. So may be submitted. It doesn't have required.
Yes,
I'm not sure.
But then the sentence afterwards says, it is permissible for a consortium to consist of 1 or more under option A and 1 or more of option B.
That is referring to if you apply as a consortium. So you can apply with a private entity, or you can apply with 2 partners consisting of option B, which is public or a public entity. This does not limit you to having a private and a public like the technology development program does. I'm not sure if you understood me now.
Now I understood you, yes. But I think the clause needs clarification.
All right.
It hints toward having two players, 2 partners.
All right.
I know that there's the word may, but it doesn't state that it would be, you could have sole entities applying for go-to-market as it is, in my opinion. I don't know.
I may include a sentence stating that sole entities can apply somewhere there, Melo, because I can agree with you that it can be misleading, but the sentences state that it may be submitted and it is not required. So, but yes, I can agree with you that there can be some misleading.
Okay.
Thank you for clarifying this.
It's okay. I had another question regarding whether there are minimum percentages. In that case, since you could have sole entities applying, there is no minimum share.
No.
Minimum distribution of funds. Okay. And one last question regarding de minimis and GBER. So in case we have partners.
Okay.
So in this case, can they enroll using the de minimis with the 300,000 rolling, right?
Yes. The de minimis will always stay like with the 300,000 unless otherwise changed.
Okay.
But the de minimis would be only for the commercialization voucher program part. So for the 14,000. The go-to-market itself is offered at a GBER state aid.
So go-to-market, the industrial partners in the go-to-market would only fall under GBER, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Clarified. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Yes, Robert.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Quick quick question about the CVP. We already touched a bit about this through email earlier on. But most of us are coming from a TDP program, which had a requirement of a CVP. Now, because
Okay.
the TDP program is 3 years long and there's a restriction in when the CVP should have been done. So what you're saying is your previous CVP is invalid and you need to do it again.
So, unless you have completed the CVP as from 1st January 2022, which is more related, we have made this because if you have completed it beforehand, it will be outdated and you would need to do it again. However, if you have completed it by the 1st of January 2022, you can directly go to the go-to-market.
Okay, the issue is that once we did the TDP, most of us already have an IP application in process, so it doesn't make sense to do an IP landscape. Can we skip that part of the process and do only the commercialization part?
I'd have to check on this because this is a specific situation. Currently, we do not offer this commercialization viability test on its own. The CVP is a package sort of, and you cannot apply separately to the.
No, we do it as part of the CVP, but it doesn't make sense for the CVP to include an IP check again.
I agree with you. I can ask. I can ask and we will discuss internally about this, but I think it doesn't make sense.
Okay, understood.
If you want, you can. I will send you an email. Sorry, soon. When we discuss this.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Yes.
Yes. So I have a question on the GBER. It's the first time we're considering applying for it. And so if I understood correctly, if you're a small undertaking, you would get 25%, 20 and 10, which is a total of 55%.
20, so 25% is for everyone. 20% is if you are a small undertaking, and a 15% top up if you have wide dissemination or effective collaboration. If you would need more detail about how would I know if I have wide dissemination or effective collaboration, you can find the form on the website. But essentially, wide dissemination relates to having basically your deliverables, the majority of them would be part of dissemination.
Okay, so in that case, the 150,000 maximum grant value, would that relate to the intensity? So let's say
you would have
55%. You get 55% of 150, or
yes.
the 55% is the 150, so the project value has to be more than that. I don't know if I'm explaining myself well.
So you can have a project value of, let's say, 200,000, and you can have a grant of 150. It's according to your project value.
Okay, so then your intensity is the percentage of the total project value, not exceeding 150.
Exactly. That's how, yes, good.
Okay. And regarding the other one of the 15% maximum for management, is it a necessary requirement that there will be someone on project management? Because highly likely it will be, if we have to apply, it will be myself, but I do not just do the role of a project management. So would that case be limited to the 15%, or you could still have it higher?
No, it will be capped at 15% for project management. So if you are the only project manager, you have to, in your budget, cap it at the 15% of the project value.
Okay, and the same person cannot be doing two roles, one as a project manager and one as a...
Yes. You can have another budget line, you as a researcher in that case.
With the same personnel in that case, but
exactly.
two different roles. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Thanks a lot. That's all. Thank you.
Welcome. Yes, Edward. Was wondering, and the chat here, Abella has said, was wondering what the total budget for the call is and how many projects will be funding. The total budget is not disclosed yet. We will see at a later stage when we have the applications at hand. Is that satisfactory for you, Edward? Okay. Jasmine, please.
Hi, good morning. Hi, first of all, I'm Massimo. So,
hello.
all right, good morning.
Good
So
morning.
basically, my question relates to the application. So in the application, it's written that an application should be accompanied by a business case, which is 4 to 5 pages, right?
A business case or a business plan?
Exactly. Now, from the presentation that you showed us, one of the slides showed that one of the deliverables can be a business plan or a business case, and we can also apply for a business voucher. So my question is, how should we go about it? If we're going to write a business case in the application, then what would we do for the deliverable?
So you can either have a business plan or a business case prior to the application, so you can submit it together, or you can perform a business plan during your project.
So the business case, if we're going to apply for a business voucher during the project, we don't need to do a business case in the application.
No. That would be if you have already done it.
But in the proposal, it is explicitly written that this application form should be accompanied by a business case. That's why I'm asking, just for clarification. It's in page 6 of the application.
Okay. Give me 1 second. So. You are saying section 1, technical component.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
All right. No, that is a separate part of the application. Sorry, now I'm understanding that. The business plan is another mandatory deliverable which should be done either prior or during the project.
Yes, but the thing that we got confused because here you're saying that on page 6 we need to accompany the application with a business case, okay, which is 4 to 5 pages. Then in your slide you show that the deliverables could include a business plan or a business case. So that would mean like, are we doing it before the application? Are we going to do it during a go-to-market? Which in my opinion, that's how it should be, because it's the time to think about it and not during the application. So yes, how can a business, are we going to have 2 business cases? Are we going to, how should we go around it? So the application.
I'm understanding. Yes. So we can offer you to do it during the application, during the project in this case.
But then you need to modify the application because, for example, us, we will not have a business case and others will have.
Because this was done due to the fact that the business case could have been done before the application.
Okay, so I think the application then needs to be amended, right? The application form, just to clarify this.
The application part should be accompanied by a business case, but I don't think it is mentioned that it is required. Sort of.
But if it says should, I think
I think there's a bit of misleading in the wording.
For us, it's like should is required, you know. So we said we have to do it. But now, seeing your presentation, it can be in the plans of the project, which makes much more sense.
All right, I'll look into it after this info session.
Okay.
And I will update the application form with proper wording. I think it's a bit
Thank you.
misleading. It's true.
Thank you.
All right, welcome. So, I think that is all, unless someone else has another question. All right. So we can end this here today. Thank you all for your patience and time. I look forward to hearing from you very soon with your applications. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.